Oh, don't worry, it's just me. But I got you good, didn't I? So today's video is going to be all about, well, what the title says. So, no further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so I'm back, and in today's video it's exactly what the title says. It's none of this clickbait malarkey or anything else that other people seem to want to advertise. There's definitely no arrows on it, that's for sure. But yeah, it's increasingly difficult to make a good intro, I feel. So I want to make something a bit unique every time. It doesn't necessarily have to make me go out my own way. It's just something, just to freshen things up a bit. And there is one lad who has got, well, one of my mates who's got FIFA 18, but it is, well, he's getting early access basically. And he opened up a pack, and in his pack he got Shevchenko. So he wants me to put that as me opening. He reckons I'll get loads of views and, you know, stuff like that. So it's not in today's intro. Hopefully it's in like the next video's intro, whenever he decides to send me it. And yeah, that'll be the intro. So just be aware if you're thinking, oh bloody hell, not FIFA, you know, I've clicked on the wrong video. Nah, and it's no clickbait either. I'm just letting you guys know now. So yeah, let's get into this video itself. So we're looking at Italians today. So not the people, obviously. We're looking at you know, things such as Pizza Top, Santino's, all of the names, Luigi's, all of the names for stuff relating to pizza shops. So basically, if you're having a pizza, ideally you want to choose lower fat toppings. Now, yeah, I know there's going to be people saying, oh, I don't know what that is. I don't know what lower fat is in terms of a topping. Does it matter? Yeah, it kind of does and it kind of doesn't. It depends on which way you sway it. If you've got a meat feast pizza, chances are you're going to have a lot of fat and most likely a lot of salt, as well as protein, which, again, it's not ideal. It's not the best thing in the world to have. Obviously, if it's a cheap meal, go for it. You know what I mean? But I'm just giving you guys sort of alternatives and get, you know, bits, tips and tricks. You get the idea. So, ideally, you want to use toppings such as vegetables, ham, fish, and of course prawns as well. Prawns can be quite salty actually, so it's a sort of hit and miss. But again, not everyone likes them ingredients, and let's be fair, we're going to stick to something that we like, which, hey, fair enough. But if you want to go down the deep end, you want to get a pizza with all them toppings on just for the crack, you know, or it's your mate's birthday, you want to do them over, hey, you know what I mean, things like that you can do. So you could ask for some extra veg on your pizza, to obviously bump up your veg and your fruit, but thing is, it's most likely going to cost you a little bit extra. So sometimes for an extra bit of topping, it can be, I don't know, say 80-90 pence, depending on what you go. But if you want to put that on, you know, you like the veg, hey, each to their own, you know what I mean, it's the same as if you don't. And also, not only that, but if you don't want to increase your saturated fat content, which, hey, nobody wants to increase that, do they? Then don't ask for stuff like extra cheese. Extra cheese obviously puts a bit more saturated fat into that meal, which is already there, if you've already got cheese on and everything else. So that's sort of the pizza, sort of how you look at it. In terms of making it a better choice, I've also got something to avoid and something that's a bit healthier at the end to come up. So basically, if you're having a pasta dish, you want a lower fat option, then go for sauce that's based on tomatoes. I'm trying to think of what else now. Or vegetables, yeah. Our veg is, you know, the be all and end all of health these days. And not only that, you want more tomato and vegetables than cream, because let's be honest, the cream sauce is going to be quite thick and it's going to have different things in to make it thick. You get where I'm going with it. So if you're having, say, a starter or a dessert, again, a lower fat option is, it's a tricky one, but I would say you're best off going for a smaller main meal, such as a starter size pasta or a side salad. Italian restaurants often serve 2 sizes of a pasta dish. Not all of them do, but a couple of them I've seen do. So you can ask for the smaller one. Again, I'm not saying you've got to. It's just little things like this that sort of make you think. And if you go there, on the day and you think, hey, what's a healthy alternative, or how can I make this a better meal to sort of suit my diet or something like that. These are just little hints and tricks. I'm not saying, right, that's it, you've got to do it, that's it, You take away somebody's freedom and they'll rebel. It doesn't matter what it is. That's why people who are on diets, I've mentioned this before and I'll probably end up mentioning it again, but people who are on diets where they're restricted from one thing or the other, they tend to they just tend to rebel against it. You always want meals that are high in fat, or meals that are classed as bad for you when you're on a diet, because you're restricting it, so your body's wanting it. You've got to live and let die type of thing with that. You've got to let it sort of flow, but you've got to do it in moderation. So you're not having pizzas every night, but again, you're not having salad every night. It's all moderation, and a lot of it is a load of crap. Let's be honest, a lot of it is. But let's not steer away from the conversation in hand. And I need to stick that on silent, because that'll be going off all day. Right. So not only that, we move on to rather than garlic breads. I know it's a bit of a weird topic title. Rather than a garlic bread, you are best off. Well, the reason why you don't want to get a garlic bread, if you're going for a healthy option, is because of the butter. Butter, saturated fat, salt, and yeah, you get where I'm going to go with that as well. And yeah, it's therefore high in fat and saturated fat. You could try bruschetta. Now, bruschetta, again, it's each to their own. If you like bruschetta, you're going to get bruschetta. If you don't, then, if you're not going to get a starter or a dessert, it's your main meal you want to focus on. So, you can also get, I'm trying to think of the other one now. You can get a tasty ciabatta. I'm sure it's called a ciabatta, which is basically bread toasted and topped with fresh tomatoes and herbs. To be fair, it is actually quite nice, a ciabatta. But again, it's each to their own. If you don't like a ciabatta, I'm not saying, right, you've got to force it down your neck. Try something new, spice up your life. If you just have a kebab every single time you go to a Chinese, would be a good one. If you go to an Italian and you get the same thing every day or every time you go, it's going to start to get a bit monotonous. It's going to start to get a bit repetitive, and you need to spice up your life every now and again. You never know, you might like it. That's what I was like when I was a bairn. I didn't really like anything other than chips, and parents would have to go all the way to McDonald's in like Jamaica and that. They'd have to walk for miles to find the one, just so I could get a portion of chips. You shouldn't be doing that. But obviously, if you're a bairn, it's different. But if you're not, an adult and you're still having the same thing all the time, it's getting a bit monotonous, you want to spice it up, these are the healthy alternatives you can go for. So that's basically just little tips and tricks, but I've got something to avoid now. You want to avoid a large deep pan pizza. Also pizzas that are highly stuffed with cheese crust. So do you know them ones you can get from Pizza Hut, and they've got like a cheese crust plus stuffed? That's the type of thing we want to avoid. Also things such as cheese with pepperoni pizzas, creamy pasta sauces, and of course a garlic bread. That's if you want to sort of keep it, as low a fat as possible, or as low as fat saturated. I don't know what's going on, but it happens every other video, and I think it's because my mind's going faster than what I'm actually speaking, or it could be the other way around. But yeah, You want to go for things that are lower in saturated fat, things that are lower in fat itself, and obviously salt. These things add up, and when they add up, you get nasty consequences. But I'm not saying don't have a pepperoni pizza, but if you are, get yourself a thin crust one. You know, that's the type of thing that I'm trying to get at. I'm not going to say don't have a pizza at all, don't bother going, that's it, your life is going to be now, just veg, fruit, live with it. You know, eat dog biscuits, nah, nothing like that. But also, there's a flip side to it. I want to end the video on a flip side instead of oh, don't do this. So, the healthier options are stuff like a smaller or medium pizza with a thin base. If you want to get a large pizza with a thin base, by all means do it. You know, I do it. I'm not going to tell you guys not to do it if I'm doing it myself. And yeah, you can still keep it like still healthy and still lower in fat and everything else. Just obviously it's a thin crust. Not everyone likes a thin crust again. So you've got to pick and choose what you want and what you don't want. We've got to sacrifice things in life. I'm not saying sacrifice the full pizza though. You know, that's why I'm saying it all the time, because it's not that at all. You should be able to eat whatever you want, but as long as it's in moderation. You can still be healthy, you can still do whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically the be all and end all of this video. And you know, if you get the pizza, make sure you get some veg on it, make sure if you do, get lean meat toppings if you're going to get meat. But again, if you want to get pepperoni, stick pepperoni on. If it's a thin crust, you can get away with it. You see, it's like a life hack. And also things like bruschetta and tomato based sauces are always a good one to stick with. And if you like them already, hey, you're already winning half of the battle. So that's going to conclude today's video. But just before I go, yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but basically we're probably going to have the fire brigade over, because my nan reckons instead of putting things in the bin, we're going to burn it. So yeah, I feel sorry for the neighbours, because that's going to be like smoke signals. And yeah, either way, I best go now, because that's going to get out of hand pretty quick, pretty fast. So yeah, without further ado, thanks for watching. You know, if you like the video, hey, like it. If you don't, then hey,